I gotta say, Fast X definitely saved this franchise. It makes me wanted more from it. What is up, guys, and to all the families out there? Welcome back to my channel. This is our City of Movie Reviews. My name is Alan Dobrinka, and of course, it's time to go back with Dominic Toretto and his family for the 10th time because we are going to review Fast X. This movie is once again directed by Justin Lin and... What? Oh, right, he left basically 2 weeks during filming. So this movie is really directed by Louis Leterrier, who directed The Transporter, The Incredible Hulk. And of course, I'm not going to explain every single cast member in this movie, but of course this stars Vin Diesel and his family with some newcomers, Jason Momoa, Brie Larson, John Cena, and Diana Melchior. Over many missions and against impossible odds, Dominic Toretto and his family have outsmarted and outdriven every foe in their path. Now, they must confront the most lethal opponent they ever faced. Fueled by revenge, a terrifying threat emerges from the shadows of the past to shatter Dom's world and destroy everything and destroy everyone that he loves. I cannot believe it, guys. From Point Break with Cars in 2001, we are in the 10th installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. I just find it fucking incredible. We have 10 Fast and Furious movies. Well, if you want to be technical, 11 because of Hobbs and Shaw. But with the original Fast and Furious franchise, we're in the 10th one. Man, now, of course, I grow heavily nostalgic in this franchise. Because, of course, I grew up with the Fast and Furious franchise. 1 to 7... I grow heavily nostalgic on. And Fast 5, of course, will always be my favorite in the series. But ever since after Furious 7, which I think it should have just ended the franchise in general, with the Fate of the Furious and especially F9, I feel like the franchise is going down. So with Fast X, I'm giving this movie as much hype as possible, at least be better than F9. Now, I want to explain the good news. This movie is a massive improvement of F9. Absolutely, even the Fate of the Furious. I gotta say, Fast X definitely saved this franchise. It makes me wanted more from it. I find Fast X not the best Fast and Furious movie in the series, absolutely not. But hell yeah, this movie was entertaining. And of course, this movie, what I liked about the movie is that it knows what it is. It's a Fast and Furious movie. It knows it's stupid. It knows it's dumb. But it's entertaining throughout the most part from start to finish. I just want to talk about the action in this movie because after F9, where it goes way too ridiculous that it is, like they freaking went to space, this movie eases it down a little bit. It's still ridiculous, it's still dumb, but it eases it down with its ridiculousness because I would say the action, it brings back the entertainment value that I love from the Fast and Furious movies. I thought the action scenes were a lot of freaking fun in this movie, especially the bomb scene. It is freaking a lot of fun. And I will say another thing that improves from the ninth one is the acting from Dominic Toretto and his family. The acting absolutely improves because I feel like in F9, I feel like Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, they didn't feel like they wanted to do that movie. This movie, they bring this spark back. Vin Diesel is definitely back as Dominic Toretto. I do like him more in this movie than F9. And of course, I'm not going to explain everyone in this film, but Dominic Toretto and his family, they're back. They're still really good in this film. You know, with their screen presence, they're really cool to watch. Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris is still hilarious in this film. They have a good boundary in this film. Michelle Rodriguez is a badass in the film. It's still the same characters that we know and freaking grew up with this franchise. Also, some newcomers in the film. Brie Larson, I thought she was pretty good in the film. Diana Melchior, who was in the Suicide Squad, I thought she does a pretty good job in the film for her small role. Even John Cena improves from F9. I thought he was actually pretty fun in this film. He has a really good chemistry with Dom's kid in the film, which I also think he did a pretty good job. But of course, this is definitely one of the best aspects of this film. Jason Momoa as the villain. Man, he is good in this film. He looked like he had a total freaking blast making this movie. This is a very fun and menacing villain, and I thought Jason Momoa absolutely pulls this role through. He's actually really hilarious in this film, but also he gets very menacing and terrifying that he wants to. And I feel Jason Momoa absolutely balances those roles very, very well. Ever since the 7 Fast and Furious movie, I wasn't really getting into the Fast and Furious movies all that much. And I feel like Fast X, when it comes to the action and entertainment value, it brings it back, basically. It brings back its tropes that I loved about from 5 and 7 in the series, where it's just dumb fun, but it knows exactly what it is. It's not taking itself way too seriously. Fast X knows what it is. It's a Fast and Furious movie. If you're expecting anything perfect from Fast X, or even this whole franchise, you're basically dead inside, because come on. This series, it knows it's stupid, it knows it's dumb. This movie is absolutely not F9, it brings back the tropes that I liked about this series. But of course this is not the best movie in the Fast and Furious series, but I would say, this film definitely brings back the movies from 1 to 7 where it's just dumb, but it knows exactly what it is. But yeah, this movie does have its flaws. I would say this movie is trying to be basically Infinity War. Like, most of this movie is trying to set up the big finale that's going to happen in the next upcoming 2 movies. And you don't see Dominic Toretto and his team together in this movie. They're basically separate throughout most of this film. And throughout most of this film, we get to see each of the different characters doing stuff. And honestly, this film is 2 hours and 30 minutes long, and I feel like it didn't need to be. This movie was trying to be as much epic than it needs to be. It's basically trying to be Infinity War with the Fast and Furious series, but trying to build on the big finale with Dominic Toretto and his family, basically. And I feel like this movie is trying way too hard on it, trying to take itself a bit too seriously with that. But guys, seriously, this is the Fast and Furious movie that just brings it back to what we loved about this franchise. I feel like the problem with the Fast and Furious and F9 especially, they try to take itself way too seriously than it actually is. Fast X is like, we do that a bit, but we bring the fun dumb back. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm very curious what's gonna happen next after this movie, and that's awesome. I'm really curious about the next Fast and Furious after Fast X, because overall, Fast X, it brings back the tropes that I liked about the franchise, and it knows exactly what it is. It's a Fast and Furious movie, it has its dumb, fun action scenes that are so predictable, but it's so enjoyable from start to finish. The acting was definitely better in the film with Dominic Toretto and his family. Vin Diesel was great in the film. Jason Momoa, probably one of the better villains in the Fast and Furious series. Overall, I had a fun time with Fast X. I think this is definitely one of the better Fast and Furious movies that I've seen. Of course, not as good as the 7 movies, but it just brings back its tropes that I liked about the series. So, great job. I'm really happy for Fast X, and I'm going to give Fast X a B-. And also, guys, this film has a mid-credit scene. Stay through the credits, because if you're Fast and Furious fans, you're going to be pretty happy. So, guys, that is my review for Fast X. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like the film, hate this film, or you thought it's okay? And what is your favorite film in the Fast and Furious series? Let me know that also in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, links down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and other movie-related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and
have a nice day.